Alright, so today's lesson is on comparing and ordering numbers. And our question is, how can you compare and order numbers? And Ms. Corbin forgot her question mark. So there's kind of a couple ways that you might be asked to find this. It might be on a number line, it might be just doing your greater than, equal to, or less than sign. And that's the one we're going to look at first. So we're going to turn our paper over this way. And I'm going to write the problem. I'm going to do 2,212, and then I'm going to put a circle here, because in this circle we're either going to put less than, equal to, or greater than. We're going to use one of those symbols, and we're going to compare it with the number 2,600. Alright, so when you're comparing the numbers, you want to start from the biggest number here and to see if it's the same, but sometimes that's hard to see. So this is where I want us to draw our chart. I want us to do our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000s, and our 100,000s. And I'm going to write each number in here correctly. So I'm going to start with my ones, because remember I talked about that so we don't mess up our place. So we've got the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and then the thousands. And then I'm going to write my second number, 0, 0, 6, 2. And how I kind of look at this is that I'm going to start with the biggest number here. They actually both have thousands. So right now both of them are the same. So that means they're the same. So now I got to look to my next number. And now I have a 2 and the 6. So which one's bigger? Well, the 6 is. So that means that this number is greater. And one of the tricks that I use is that this alligator mouth is always going to eat the bigger number. So if I use this one, it's going to eat this one, and that's not the bigger number. And it's not the same as, they're not equal. So I need to have the alligator mouth that eats this number. So that means it is this way. And how we read this in math terms is 2,212 is less than 2,600. So now let's try it again, but we're going to use a bigger number this time. We're going to use bigger numbers this time, and this is where the chart will become a little bit more helpful. So we're going to do 751,272, circle, 9,392. Alright, so now I'm like, well, let me draw my hundreds chart. So my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000s, and my 100,000s. When I'm writing it into my chart, I always start with my ones. Alright, so let's start with my ones. It's 2, 7, 2, 1, 5, 7, with my comma by the thousands, and then 2, 9, 3, 9. Now I might have thought, oh, 9 is bigger than 7, but if I look at this, look right here. This number is already bigger because these would be zeros and 7 is bigger. So that means even though it's a 7, this is only 9,000, this is 700,000. And so that's why you've got to be careful with not just looking at the first number. You've got to line them up so you can easily see which number is bigger. And this one is obviously bigger, so we need to have our mouth eating this way. Alright, so the same way that the next way is we're going to do order the numbers. So I'm going to do the fast way. This means numbers from greatest to least And this one is order numbers from least to greatest. Okay, so we've got some math words in there. So with our math words, greatest is the biggest, least is the smallest. So this one we're going from the biggest to the smallest, and this one we're going from the smallest to the biggest. Okay, so I'm going to give us our three numbers. Let's do orange. So this one, our three numbers are 23,710. Then we have 23,751. And then we have 23,715. Okay, so let's find our biggest. Let's find our biggest. So the 2's are the same. And now first everything is lined up. Our 1's are the same, our 10's are the same. We have everything in the right line, so now we can compare. So our 2's are the same, our 3's are the same, our 7's are the same. So now we're looking at our 10's. So we got a 1, 5, and 1. So which one is the biggest? The 5 is the biggest, so I'm going to put a number 1 right there because that's the biggest. Okay, so now I got to find the next biggest. So I've got the same, the same, the same. I've already found the biggest there. So now, which one is the next biggest? We can't count this one. We've already used that one. That one's already no, so it has to be between these two. So which one's bigger? 0 or 5? It would be the 5. So then, that is the order from the biggest to the smallest. And I would rewrite them in that order. So if I was writing my answer on here, and I asked you to rewrite it, it would be 23,751 is the biggest. Then it's 23,715 is next. And then 23,710 is the smallest. So that's the least. Alright, so on this next one, I'm going to show you how you do it with your hundreds chart. So you go ahead and write your 1s, your 10s, your hundreds, comma, your thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Remember, you should be whispering that if you're still troubling remembering the order of those. Alright, so our three numbers on this one is we have 52,701, 52,701. Then we have 54,025, and then we have 5,206. Now I have to check my directions. This time I'm looking for the smallest. Alright, so I've got to look for the smallest. Well, those two are already bigger, right? They have 10,000s. This one only has thousands, so that means that one is the smallest. So I need to put a 1 besides that one. Now that I've already figured that one out, I don't use that one anymore. Now I got to find the next smallest. So 5 and 5 are the same. 4 and 2. What is smallest? Smaller, 2 or 4. The 2 is smaller, so that means it's the next smallest. And that means this is the biggest. Because we had two different sets of the directions, and this is where I get some of my friends confused. If it's greatest to the least, that means your bigger number goes first, and if it's least to greatest, that means your smaller number goes first. So writing the answer for this one is 5,206 is my smallest. My next smallest is 52,701, and the next one is 54,025. So we will be practicing today, using the greater and less than and equal to symbols, and then we're going to practice ordering three numbers from greatest to least and least to greatest.